Hello everybody, sflogicninja here, or you can call me David Earl. I really don't care. Getting to you with another video. Sorry it's a day late. It's GDC and I got Miami coming up on Friday and Saturday. So I'm a little scatterbrained right now. But I did want to go over one thing really quick for all those people who are interested in doing movie or TV or anything that requires really large scores and trying to keep them organized. You'll notice that in my session here that I have up, I've got these color bars at the end of my tracks. If you go to View and you get a configured track header, there's this little radio button here called Track Color Bars. And if you select that, and I'll hit Done, then you can see these colors on these tracks. So how do you set those colors? Well, if I go to Grand Piano here and I hit Option C, it brings up a color palette. And I can select whatever color I want, and that'll color the channel strip, and if I record anything on that track, whatever I record will come up with the color that's assigned via my color palette, right? So what I have here is I have this little cheesy orchestral arrangement that I did, and it's got a lot of different stuff going on. You'll note that down here, hopefully my picture isn't covering it up, but there we go, that'll help. This is yellow and red. I obviously pulled apart from another track and brought it down. If I want, I can select that track with those regions, go to region and say channel strip color to regions, and now it's the proper color. Okay, so what you can do is, in Logic, there's several different ways that you can solo and mute. With solo, you can solo a channel strip, you can solo a track, and you can solo individual regions, okay? So when I solo a track, what it's doing is it's going to solo all the regions that are within that track. If I solo the channel strip, that means that it's going to mute all the other channel strips that are in your mixer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select a region. I'm going to hit Shift C. So if I go up here, these are my woodwinds. I click there, I hit Shift C, and it selects everything that's the same color. And if I hit S, that turns us into solo mode, and you'll only hear the woodwinds. Okay, so then if I go over here to a red region and hit Shift C, it selects everything else that is red. So the cool thing about this is basically an orchestral template, and it's set up like a real orchestra, and it's set up by sections. And each section has it's color coded, so that when I bounce out, I can bounce out audio stems by region. So what's an audio stem? An audio stem is a submix. So if I have French horns and trumpets and trombones and all that stuff, all these brass instruments, and I want them to, I want to give it to a guy who's mixing for film. The guy who's mixing for film is going to mix my stuff into his film. He doesn't want every single track that I recorded. He wants everything broken out into sections that are easy to work with, so he can balance out volumes between the sections. So what I choose to do is I'll go to like my woodwinds here, I'll hit Shift C, and then I'll bounce those out. Now, when you're bouncing out stems, I like to do one additional thing, which is bounce out an effects stem, which means that when I bounce out, I'm going to bounce out without any reverb or additional things, like reverb or delay-based effects, and then I'm going to give the mixer a track that's only reverb and only delay and stuff like that. You do that by going into your mixer, and I'm going to go to Arrange Mode, and cruise on over here, and there we have my reverb, right? So what I do is I mute the reverb, and then I bounce out all of my sections. So I'd bounce this section out first, and then I'd bounce this section, and then I might go here and bounce that section, bounce everything out. Now at the end of this process, I get out of solo mode by hitting S again. You'll note that the yellow tinge up here goes away. And then in my mixer, I solo the reverb bus, and then I bounce. And when I bounce, I end up with a reverb stem. So what that does is when the guy's mixing, when somebody's mixing my music, if my reverbs suck, then they have their, outboard Lexicon 480XL or something, or some outrageously expensive reverb, or they just have reverbs that they're really familiar with, or it's working in a scene in the movie where I chose the wrong reverb, then what they'll do is they have the ability to take all of the other instruments that I have and bust them through a reverb that they like. Happens all the time. When you do this for audio engineers, even if it doesn't have to be movie or TV or anything like that or games, it can be a music mix, you know, of a band. And if you hand it to a recording engineer, and he's like, oh wow, I have really manageable stems here, and I can use my own effects if I want. Wow, win-win. So anyway, there you go. There's my quickie for the week, and I will be at the Winter Music Conference in Miami on Saturday. I'll be doing a 1:30 seminar, and all this week is GDC. So sorry I haven't been getting back to emails as much as I usually do. I'm insanely busy writing lots of music, which is good. It's a good kind of problem to have. Hope you're all doing great. Have a wonderful week, and check out my blog and my Twitter if you want to know what's up with me day to day. And I'll talk to you later. Ciao.